So if you have a block, we're going to place that block between our ankles. Certainly you can do this next variation just sitting on your heels. But if you want to move it to a little bit more Virasana, the block goes between the ankles on the flat edge or the middle edge. And this allows for that nice straight spine. We're going to sit in this position. You're going to internally rotate the thighs in and down. So if you need to use your hands, you can just kind of push into the inner thighs a little bit for that security. Tailbone absorbs in, lower belly lifts. So we want to create that nice straight spine. And then inhale, reach the arms up and over the head. Interlace the fingers and then turn the palms up and push the palms away. So create as much height in your spine as possible here. So think of really lifting up through the rib cage, lifting up through the waist, pressing the sit bones down, but lifting through the crown of the head, and make as much space along the side bodies as possible. And you may notice that the shoulders are up slightly by the ears. So try to send those down into their sockets while still maintaining the height. You don't lose any of that stretch along the side body. And then go back to that breath we were working with. So inhaling in and down, but feeling a sense of lightness. And then exhaling up and out, but feeling a sense of being grounded. And see how much you can really expand the lungs here. So can you not just feel the rib cage widening, but can you get some breath into the back body? So areas that we don't typically breathe in or think about breathing in. Back of the heart maybe, shoulder blades, kidneys. One more here. Now, let your head rest on your right arm and lean over to your right side. And so now we're just going to extend that lateral stretch a little bit here. Still staying anchored into your block or into your heels. See if you can open up just a little bit more space there between the rib bones. Remember that your breath is equal, MuktiBhuktiYoga, so inhaling and exhaling. And let the body be supple enough that it can move a little bit with the breath. So we're not holding this rigid. We are putting some action into it, but at the same time too, as the lungs fill, you might lift up a little bit. And as the lungs empty, you might lower a little bit. Good, now come back to center and switch. Put your head on your left arm and now lean over to the left side. And again, just breathing here. Moving ever so slightly with the breath, not forcing that in any way. And are there any other areas that are tight that you can breathe into here? Just feeling the pressure of the breath alone, releasing that tension. Good, two more. And then come back to center and now just release the arms slowly by your side and just feel all that blood start to move back into the arms, clearing tension from the shoulders all the way down through the upper arms, the forearms, and then to the fingertips, and then just let the arms extend for a few moments, just hovering there. And now bring your fingertips into the mat to the best of your ability and tip your right ear to your right shoulder. So as you're reaching your fingers down, I'm going to feel that stretch along the left side of the neck. And then continuing to reach the fingers down, draw the chin down towards the sternal notch. And just feel that stretch along the spinal muscles on either side of the spine. And now tilt your left ear to your left shoulder. And again, continue to reach those fingers down, even if they don't touch. It's okay if the arms are a little shorter. And just breathe into the neck here. Release anything that's being held. Very nice. And then come back to neutral for a moment. So we were staying in this position. We can be here for a few more moments. But we're going to do some undulations of the spine. So before we had the spine really straight with the tailbone absorbed in, lower belly lift, but now we're going to interlace the fingers and push the palms away and actually round the back. So create that sort of concave action with the spine, pulling the abdomen deeply in. And now this time as we bring the arms over the head, we're actually going to feel a slight back bend. So you will allow that tailbone to lift slightly, and you're going to curve into that upper back. And then exhale, and now round out again and push the palms away and send the navel towards the spine. Inhale, pull the arms up and feel that little bit of back. And you can try to pull those arms behind the ears a bit more. Exhale. Everything contracts. Inhale. Pull back. One more. Exhale. And inhale. Very nice. And then come back to neutral and try to flatten out that spine. Just let the hands rest in the lap for a moment and feel. Observe sensation. And we'll take the block out from between the ankles, place it to the side, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tops of the feet pressed down. So inhale here, we're going to lift the heart. Lift the sit bones, look up. Keep the heart open as you tuck the toes and send the sit bones up and back. And now coming into downward facing dog here, we'll bend one knee and press the other heel down. And then bend the other knee and press the other heel down. And just move back and forth a few times, opening up the backs of the legs. Just trying to work out any of the tension that's maybe in there, whether it's been accumulated over the evening or throughout the day. Good. And then for a moment, we're going to take the feet wide. So the big toes are to the outside edges of the mat. And then as you press down into the palms, elongate the arms, head and neck just hang, so no tension there. Roll the shoulder heads away from your ears and squeeze the inner arms toward one another. And then really make sure you're pressing firmly into the hands, particularly the web of the index and thumb. And now, because the legs are a little wider, there's just a little more room for that upper body. So send the heart a little closer to the thighs. And then pull the navel towards the spine on exhalation to support the lower back so there's no excessive dipping there. And send the weight also into the legs so that the strong muscles of the legs can hold all that. And it almost feels as if you're hanging from a rope. Upper body keeps continuing to grow nice and long. A few more breaths here, please. Where does the body feel the tension? Can you send breath into it? Good, and then come back to center and bring your feet to touch. Bring your thumbs to touch and spread your hands wide. And now just feel this downward facing dog. Pressing into the hands and feet with everything close to the midline. So a little more significance there for the upper back, might feel a little more tension. Continue to try your best to lift your tailbone. So again, we've got that anterior tilt. And then to take the navel in and up under the rib cage for some more support for the spine. And then bring the knees to the floor, take the sit bones to the heels, and we'll take embryo. So back of the hands toward the heels, just round the upper back, forehead into the mat. Let the shoulders really soften and sink away from the ears. Good, and then arms come forward again, back up into tabletop position, lift the heart, tuck the toes, sit bones up and back for downward facing dog again. And so that same feeling we had in the position with the legs spread wide, where really the weight of the body is in the legs, continue to feel that here. And then we're just going to walk the hands back 6 inches and stop. And I want you to imagine like you were hanging from a rope. So rope attached around the waist, upper body can really just soften. Legs and feet are firmly connected to the ground. And then walk back another 6 inches. And then as you breathe in and the breath goes all the way down, it's going towards the pelvic floor. So feel the pelvic floor push away. And as the breath comes back up and out, feel the heart soften a bit more. And then walk back another 6 inches. Now really press into the feet here. You can lighten so much of the load on the upper body. And then another 6. Stay, continue that long, slow MuktiBhukti breath. And then walk the hands all the way back, lining the fingertips up with the toes. Of course, if you need the blocks, place your hands on the blocks. And if you're tight in the back of the legs, take a little micro bend in the knee so that there's pressure taken off of the spine. And head and neck can really just hang here. And we're going to sweep the hands behind us into Yoga Mudra, interlacing those fingers. Pull the knuckles up and away from you and just stretch out the shoulders. And if you want to do a little bit of that flossing of the shoulder blades, just moving the knuckles away from you and then closer towards the body. This will help to release some of that tension that likes to build up in the shoulders. Notice this symmetrical pose, very balanced, very soothing to the nervous system. And now pressing into the feet, pull the knuckles back. Slowly extend the spine as you come all the way up into mountain pose. We're going to lift the chin here, lift the heart, keep pulling the knuckles back. Open up that front body. Even jut out the chin. And then just release the head, release the arms, and take a moment to just stand in mountain pose. And feel what's shifted in the body. So it doesn't take very long. We could do this every morning and find some relief of tension and a greater connection to our breath. So we're going to stay at the back of our mats for sun salutations. And feet can be hip distance apart or slightly wider. Hands together in front of the heart. So pranavayu sun salutation. Inhale, the arms reach up. And you'll exhale and either sink into chair, or if you can, keep going towards squat. And then inhale into tabletop position and spread the collarbones wide. Exhale, tuck the toes and find downward facing dog. So right leg moves forward to the fingertips, spin the back foot flat. Heel to heel alignment, front knee bent. Inhale as you reach up. Now exhale, stay for the exhale and relax your shoulders into the sockets. Inhale, straighten the front leg and elongate the front body. And then exhale, lengthen over that front leg as far as you can go till the fingertips touch. Then inhale, pivot on the ball of the back foot, high lunge, heart comes forward through the shoulders. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So first round, we'll modify the vinyasa. Inhale to plank position, bring the knees to the floor, squeeze the elbows tight into the side till the belly comes down. Inhale, halfway up for cobra, elbows and shoulders are pulling back. And exhale to downward facing dog. So the other side, we're going to step the left foot forward to the fingertips, spin the back foot flat, heel to heel alignment. Again, front knee bent, hips are squared, inhale, arms reach. Now stay for that exhale and just lower the shoulders. Take the tension out of the upper body. Inhale, straighten the front leg. And then exhale, keep the length as you come over that front thigh. Micro bend that front knee if you need it. Fingertips to the floor. Inhale, pivot on the ball of the back foot for high lunge. And exhale, downward facing dog. So we'll take 5 full breaths in down dog. And if you'd like, today you can take the big toes to the outside edges of the mat and just go a little wider. Again, remember to keep the shoulder heads rolling away from the ears. Ujjayi, breathing into the best of your ability, feeling the inhale come in and go down, exhale come up and go out. One more breath here. So from downward facing dog, inhale, bring the knees to the floor, tabletop position. Heart lifts, sit bones lift. Exhale, now walk back to squat. Coming onto the balls of the feet, hands together in prayer. Inhale, press into the feet. Arms reach up over the head. And then exhale, forward fold and hook the index middle thumb around your big toe. You can keep a micro bend in the knee if you need to. Inhale, you're going to straighten arms, straighten spine, and only if you can, straighten legs. Exhale, bend knees, bend elbows, relax head and neck. Inhale, release, into chair pose. Stay for the exhale, go a little deeper. Inhale, straighten the legs. Come all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, sink into chair or squat. Exhale, come forward into tabletop position. Inhale, heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Right leg forward, warrior one, spin the back foot flat. Inhale as you rise. Exhale, soften, lower the shoulders into their socket. Inhale, straighten the front leg, open up. Exhale, forward fold over that leg. Fingertips to the floor, inhale, pivot, high lunge. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, modified plank, bring knees to floor. Squeeze the elbows tight, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg forward, warrior one. Inhale as you rise. Exhale, stay, lower shoulders. Inhale, straighten the front leg, open up. Exhale, press heel away from crown, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, pivot, high lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 5 full breaths here, and if you want to widen the stance, take the big toes to the outside edges of the mat. Relax the chest towards the thighs. Breathe deeply here. So once again, bring your attention into inhale, coming in and going down to the base. Exhale, coming back up and out. Breathe. Navel hugs the back body on exhale. Two more. And then bring your feet back to center. Inhale, tabletop position, knees to floor, heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, walk back to squat. Stay on the balls of the feet, the hands in prayer. Inhale, press into the feet, arms reach up over the head, lift and lengthen through the core. Exhale, forward fold over the leg. Hook the index, middle thumb around your big toes. Inhale, pull away, straighten arms, straighten spine, and only if you can, straighten legs. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Inhale, release, lean back to chair. Stay for the exhale, sink just a little deeper. Inhale, straighten and lift, elongating the front body, and exhale, hands to the heart. One more, just one more. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, sink in a chair or squat. Inhale, tabletop position, spread the collarbones wide. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward to the fingertips, spin the back foot flat, warrior one. Heel to heel, inhale as you rise. Stay for the exhale, lower the shoulders. Inhale, straighten, hug the muscle to the bone. Exhale, fold over the legs, squeeze those inner thighs. Inhale, pivot on the ball of the back foot, high lunge. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, traditional plank position. Squeeze the elbows tight, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop into cobra or up dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg forward, warrior one. Inhale as you reach. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, fold over that leg. Inhale, pivot for high lunge. And then exhale, downward facing dog. And take 5 full breaths here again, just widening the feet if you would like, adding that little extra space for the spine. Inhale comes in and goes down. Exhale comes up and goes out. Two more. And then bring the feet back together. Inhale the tabletop position. Spread the collarbones wide. And exhale, walk back to squat. Stay on the balls of the feet, hands in prayer. Inhale, the arms reach up. Come into standing. Parallel the feet. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Hook the index middle thumb around the big toe. Inhale, straighten arms, straighten spine, and only if you can, straighten legs. Exhale, bend knees, bend elbows, relax head and neck. Inhale, lean back to chair. Press into the feet. Come all the way up as you inhale. And exhale, hands to heart. And now just stay here, hands at your heart or down by your side, and take a moment. Find the breath. Inhale comes in and down, exhale comes up and out, but feeling lightness on inhale and being grounded on exhale. If you're tight in the legs, you're going to want to have a block, or 2 blocks rather, near your side. So you can put it somewhere around the middle side of the mat. And then stepping all the way back to the back of the mat, we're going to have the feet hip distance apart. So turn your left toes out to a slight angle and step the right foot forward to a comfortable distance. Bring your hands onto your sacrum, so one palm on top of the other. And inhale, you're going to lift your left arm up. Exhale, come down just halfway. So squeeze those inner thighs, press firmly into the legs, and just come halfway down. And feel the spine lengthening like someone was pulling on that string at the crown of the head again. And then inhale, come back up. And repeat that. Exhale, just coming halfway down. Navel hugs the spine for support. Nice flat back. Inhale, come up. Again, so head, neck, torso, tailbone is in a straight line as you move. Coming halfway down. Inhale up. 2 more. Exhale. And on this last one, we're going to go as far forward as you can. So again, like someone's pulling your arm, pulling the crown of the head, and then forward fold over the legs. And just bring the hands onto the blocks if you need them, or you can have your fingers in a finger stand or palms flat. Head and neck is completely relaxed here. Now shift forward your weight into the front leg, feel the stretch there. Shift into the back leg, feel the stretch there. And notice which one has a little more sensation. And the one that you have more sensation in is usually the one we're backing off of. So lean into that one just a little bit. You can always take a micro bend in the knee if you need to. Now we're going to allow the body to really soften here over the thigh. So as you inhale, maybe let that chest grow a little longer as you lengthen the heart forward. And then exhale, melt, and soften a little deeper over the leg. And do that again. Inhale, you're leaning forward, you're opening up. And then exhale, melting over that leg. Good, inhale. And exhale. And just surrender here, letting everything soften. And go back to that breath as the inhale comes in and down, feeling it push the hips back. And as the breath comes up and out, feeling it soften the heart towards the thighs. One more. Now, placing the hands back on the sacrum, can you extend the left arm long? And then you're going to counter gravity here. So you're going to really push into the legs, flatten out the spine, come back to halfway, and feel that strength there, and just take 3 breaths here. Again, no tension in the upper back or shoulders. Keep pressing that into the earth. And then inhale the rest of the way up. And then we'll exhale, bring the arm down and step back to the back of your mat. And just balance here for a moment and stay. Notice the length, the space along that right side of the body. And then we'll switch. So we're going to turn the right toes out to a slight angle and step the left foot forward to a comfortable distance. Again, hands are going to go onto our sacrum. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, just coming forward halfway, press equally into both feet. Try to keep that arm in alignment with the ear. Anchoring into the feet, inhale, come back up. Again, exhale, like someone's pulling that string forward, elongating the vertebrae. Inhale. Keep the base of the body firm here as you're moving, so squeeze those inner thighs and hug the muscle to the bone in the legs. Use the breath to lift you as you inhale. Feeling that lightness. Exhale, coming down. Nice straight line, inhale. And last one here. And you're going to lengthen as far as you can over that front leg. Really pull, 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 and then release the fingertips down. Again, you can have your blocks if you need them for support. You can bring the fingers into a finger stand or have the palms completely flat. Head and neck is relaxed. Now, again, you're going to shift your weight forward into your front leg. Feel the sensation there. Shift your weight back into your back leg and do that one more time. And just notice, where's the area where I have more sensation? It might be different. So whatever it is, lean into the leg with more sensation. And then inhale, you're going to extend the heart forward. Create as much length as you can along the front body. And then exhale, melt into it. Head and neck is soft. Again, as the inhale goes in and down towards the pelvic floor, it actually helps to push the hips back, elongating the waist, and then exhale, melt over the leg a little further. And then one more, inhale. As much space as you can, and now stay in the pose and just melt into it and let those layers release. Head and neck is soft. Don't gather the tension there. Samavriti breathing. Your base of the body is firm, upper body is soft and relaxed. Keep leaning just slightly into that leg with more sensation. Navel hugs the spine on exhale. Good, last breath. Now keep pressing into the feet. Bring the hands back onto the sacrum. Extend the right arm long. And as you really anchor into the feet, remember you're countering gravity here. So push down, 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 down. Come halfway up. Flatten out that spine. 3 breaths here. Just feel the weight of the pressure of gravity on the back and all the strength of the muscles there. One more. And now come the rest of the way up. And then exhale, arm down. Step back to the back of your mat. And once again, samastiti. And just feel. So it's not a fancy variation, but what we end up getting is all this room, all this space. So feel the body, the fascial system adjusting to all of that, creating new patterns for the body. And having worked the right side and the left side, we feel that these two become balanced. All right, so we're still here at the back of the mat, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. And this time just exhale, forward fold. Navel in. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose, flat back. And then exhale, step forward into plank position. And if you need to, you can lower the knees down or keep them lifted. Squeeze the elbows tight, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop into cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. We'll take a few breaths here. So enjoying the symmetry after having worked each side. Breathing into that space. Head and neck is relaxed. So we're going to bring the feet together, come onto the balls of the feet. Reach the right leg up in the air. And exhale the left heel down. And open that right leg as high as you can and then bend the knee, draw the heel to the glute. And just feel the hips beginning to release here. Keep that left heel anchored. Open up through the hip by absorbing the tailbone into the body and lift the lower belly. And then straighten that leg again and square the hips. Bring the right knee into your chest and lunge that foot forward to the fingertips. Spin the back foot flat, heel to arch alignment. When you're ready, you're going to come up through Warrior One, open hip and shoulder to the left for Warrior Two. And we're going to stay in Warrior Two here. So bend into that front knee, and you want that knee in alignment with the ankle but not beyond it. Push it slightly towards the pinky toe side of your foot. Absorb your tailbone into the body, lift the lower belly, and then anchor firmly to the outside edge of the back foot. Gaze over the middle finger of the right hand. So same thing as we were doing before. I want you to imagine there's a string attached to the crown of the head, those 7 spinal centers, like pearls, just strung on the string all the way to the root. And you're going to continue to let prana move down through the arms, out the fingers, without gathering that in the shoulders, while you grow just a little longer through the vertebrae. Now practice that breath. So inhaling in and down, exhaling up and out. And if you can, on inhale, feel lightness. And on exhale, feel grounded. One more here. Now, back hand to thigh, turn and look at the right palm, come into reverse Warrior Two, and slowly straighten that front leg. So really open up through the side body, give that leg a little bit of a break. And now we're going to come back into Warrior Two stance, but just take the right forearm to the thigh and sweep the left arm up and over the head. So a full extended side angle pose. You can stay here. You can place the hand on the ankle, or you can bring the fingertips to the floor. Certainly, if you need to, you can use a block. So whatever feels better for you. With this top arm, you're internally rotating the arm, pinky finger reaching towards the floor. Head of the shoulder is still down into its socket. Bend into that front knee so you can really feel the hips. Breathe deeply here. At the same time that the hips are starting to open, we don't want to collapse in the hip area or in the pelvis. We want to feel a little bit of an inner body lift. So feel a little buoyancy there in the torso. Arm is pressing into leg, leg is pressing into the arm if it's down. 2 more breaths. Good. Fingertips to the floor. Pivot on the ball of the back foot. High lunge for just a moment here. Fingers in a finger stand on either side of the foot. And then exhale to downward facing dog. Stay there for a moment. And we'll vinyasa. Inhale, plank position. You can lower the knees or keep them lifted for chaturanga. Inhale into cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to down dog. Feet together, balls of your feet. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale the right heel down. Inhale the left as high as you can, and now bend the knee, draw the heel to the glute. So you're stacking hip, lefts over right. Keep the right heel grounded so you get that length along the back of the leg. And then see if you can open the hip just a little bit more. Absorb the tailbone in, lift the lower belly. Hands and shoulders are squared. And now straighten that leg, square the hips. Bring the left knee into your chest and then lunge that through to the fingertips. Spin the back foot flat, line the front heel with the arch of the back foot for Warrior Two on this side. So come up through Warrior One, open hip and shoulder to the right, Warrior Two. All right, so you're going to press into the ball of the front foot, the outside edge of the back foot. Remember, that's your foundation there. That front knee's bent, moving towards the pinky toe side of your foot. Arms extend, gaze over the middle finger of the left hand. Relax your shoulders. Now think of the spine. Again, that string hanging down. 7 pearls of wisdom, of knowledge, concentrations of energy strung along that string. Long, deep breaths here. Inhale, feeling lightness. Exhale, feeling grounded. Keep softening your shoulders. Now, back hand to thigh, turn and look at that left palm. Slowly straighten that front leg. So open up into reverse warrior two or reverse triangle here. And then we're going to go back into the pose. So just giving that leg a little break. We're going to take the left forearm to the thigh. Right arm goes up and over the head. Now stay anchored to the outside edge of that back foot. You can keep the forearm down if you'd like here. Make sure you're not crunching the shoulder by the ear. Keep space there. Or you can take the hand to the ankle or down to the inside of the foot on the floor of the block. With this top arm over the head, it's an internal rotation of the arm. Pinky finger rotates down. Breathe deeply here. Head can be neutral, gaze can be slightly up. But be willing to go into that sensation in the hips. And then if you feel like you start to sink in the joints, keep that buoyancy, keep that lightness. Inner body lift. A couple more. Very nice. Fingertips to the floor. Pivot on the ball, the front back foot. Hands in a finger stand. Just stabilize there in high lunge. And then step back to downward facing dog and take a breath. Good. We're going to walk the hands slowly back to the feet. Not quite as slow as we did before, but just take your time. Feeling about 6 inches each way. More and more pressure in the back of the legs. And then come into forward fold at the back of your mat. Hang there for just a moment, imagining that the hips are just hanging by a string. Upper body is soft and able to just fold over that rope or that string. And then inhale the arms out wide, lift and rise all the way up as you come up to standing arms overhead. And exhale, arms down by the side. And be there for just a moment. Samastiti. Just take in sensation. And notice, do you feel a little taller? That mountain pose is a little bit more natural. Okay, so we're going to grab onto a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can use anything that's available to you. A rope is fine too. And we can do it without the strap. So if that's not in your possession, that's totally fine. If you do have the strap though, just take it over one shoulder. So hands are going to come to the hips. And if you want, you can step off your mat if you don't like to have that extra padding under your feet for balance postures. Or if balance is challenging for you, make sure that you're near a chair or a wall where you can use that for support. So we're going to go into Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, and we're going to bring the right knee up just to start. Now, if you don't have a lot of flexibility in the back of the leg, this is fine. You can do this whole thing with the knee bent. Okay, if you do have some flexibility in the back of the leg, you're welcome to either use the strap, which is then to wrap around the foot and extend the leg, holding onto the strap with the right hand. Or you can hook the index middle thumb around the big toe and straighten the leg that way. So whatever works for you. The goal here, though, is to stand up straight and to feel that buoyancy we've been talking about the whole time. So that lightness in the body, that lifting of the pelvic floor, almost like there's a zipper from the pubic bone all the way through the crown of the head, extending you higher and taller and taking pressure off the vertebrae. Continue to breathe here. Samavritti breathing that we were doing before. It does help to visualize the inhale going in and down, but feeling taller. Exhaling up and out, but feeling grounded. And then we're going to take this foot and now place it as high up on the leg as you can. So it's either going to inner thigh, calf, or ankle. So preparing for tree pose. And then hands are here in prayer. You can keep them at the heart. Now again here too, you want to feel yourself growing taller. So ease the pressure off the discs. Lighten the load by lengthening the spine. And if you want, you can do the same thing we did before, interlacing the fingers. Turn the palms up and extend. Just a few more breaths. Mind is steady. And then lower the hands back to the heart, release the ankle, and stretch out the feet. Find balanced posture here again in Samasthiti. Nice and stable. And we'll do the other side. So if you want, you can put the strap around the other shoulder. And again, you can do this whole thing just by challenging balance with the left knee lifted. This is option number 1. Option number 2 would be the strap, wrapping it around the foot and holding onto it with the left hand. Right hand can be on the hip. Or, if the flexibility is there, you can hook the index middle thumb around the big toe and straighten the leg that way. And again, you want to work on lifting the heart, growing as tall as you can through the spine, and breathing deeply here. So just like there's that zipper, find that length. Stay anchored and rooted through your supporting leg. Samavriti breathing. Feeling lightness on inhale, feeling grounded on exhale. Two more. Now we're going to release that foot as high up on the leg as possible. So that can be inner thigh, that can be calf, or that can be ankle. And then hands to prayer. So foot presses into leg, leg presses into foot. Finding that balance. You can keep the hands there, or you can interlace overhead. Lengthening those side bodies, breathe deeply. Feel yourself getting taller. Shoulders away from the ears. All right, to come out, you're going to gently bring the hands down and release the feet and shake them out. Keep the strap nearby. Finding that Samasthiti posture, mountain pose, and just take a moment to enjoy the symmetry. Okay, just one more here. So we're going to move into Utthita Hasta Parangushtasana, which is to take the leg out to the side. So same thing, so starting with the right leg first, you can just bend the knee and then hold on to the knee with the right hand and take the knee out to the side. So that's perfectly fine. Or you could use the strap. Same thing, holding on to the strap with the right hand, extend the leg straight, and then when you're stable, take it out to the side. Or you can do that with the index middle thumb around the big toe. So either way, choose a position that you'd like. It's in your practice today. And then continue to feel the inner thigh of the right leg lengthening. while the outside of the right hip is drawing in. Breathe deeply here. Last one. Good, come back to center and release. Again, if you need to, shake out the feet and then find Samastiti. Okay, other side. So Utthita, we're gonna bend the left knee. And if you want, you can hold on to that with your left hand and open that out to the side. Again, this is still very good for balance. Okay, strap is the option number 2. Same thing as before. Wrap it around the foot, hold on to it with your left hand, and then open that leg to the side. Right hand can be on the hip for support. Okay. Or option number 3, hook the index middle thumb around the big toe, and then take it out to the side. Now hug everything towards that midline. So really pull that right hip in. Again, you're creating buoyancy, lightness in the spine. Breathe into it. Finding those tricks in the breath. Inhale, lightness. Exhale, grounded. Shoulders are relaxed, face is soft. And then come back to center, release the leg, shake it out. You can drop the strap, and again, just find Samastiti. We're going to come back to the front of the mat and make our way towards the floor with the Vinyasa. So either big toes touching, space between the heels, or feet hip distance apart. Hands at the heart, inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold navel to spine. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose. Flat back, again, elongating that vertebrae. And exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. You can lower the knees down if you'd like. Squeezing elbows tight for chaturanga. Keep them lifted. Inhale, cobra if the knees are down. Up dog if the knees are up. And then exhale, downward facing dog. One more time here. We're going to take the big toes to the outside edges of the mat. Press the chest towards the thighs and really create that extra length, extra extension through the spine. Again, imagine yourself hanging from that rope. And one more. Now bring the feet back to the center, bring the knees to the floor, and we're going to sit tall on our heels. And just rest here in Vajrasana, taking the tailbone in, lifting the lower belly, and just resting the hands here on the lap. With a simple posture, maintain that breath we've been working with. So inhale coming in and going down, but lightness as it comes up. And then exhale coming up and out, but a sense of being grounded or energy going down. One more here. And then we're going to take the hips to the right and bring the legs out in front of us. And just come into Dandasana staff pose. So staff pose has the legs straight, feet are flexed, and you're going to hug the muscle to the bone here so the legs stay firm. We don't want the feet to tilt out to the side, so there's a slight internal rotation of the thighs. Hands beside the hips and sit as tall as you can. And just breathe. If you like, you can close your eyes. Again, go back to that image of a string of pearls hanging down. And someone at the very crown of the head just lifting. You might notice the chin drawing in and the back of the skull lifting slightly. Low ribs are hugging in, creating that core support. So the same sensation is what we want to continue with in these extension postures. So we're going to open up the legs now with the soles of the feet coming together. And if you need some support, you can always prop your sit bones up on a blanket. You can bring your hands by your hips and tilt your pelvis forward. So once again, we have that anterior tilt of the pelvis. And hook the index middle thumb around the big toes and draw the spine taller, heart through the shoulders relax down the back. So Ardha Baddha Konasana here, half bound angle. We're going to maintain this height through the spine and begin to lean forward in the posture. What I really want you to keep is this elongated spine. So I'm not so concerned about how far you can fold over the legs, but today's practice we're really working extension. So we want to feel how long can we keep the spine while still folding. And there's times where we don't do that. There are times where we just want to fold over the legs, and a little rounding in the upper back is okay. But for today's class, let's try to maintain head, neck, torso, tailbone in a straight line. And if the elbows happen to come into the calves, then that little extra downward pressure just to help those hip rotators open. Continue your Samavriti breath. Again, remember what we spoke of at the beginning of the practice, this idea that there's these two energy channels and they have opposing qualities. But when they enter the central channel, when they join together and both balanced in their energies, then we have the perfect or ideal condition for the state of meditation in that central spine. So feel the mind being pulled deeper and deeper into that state. Last breath here. And then lean back and keep the spine tall, holding on to the toes, elongating the shoulders. And now opening your eyes, you're going to keep this bind. Either your hands are holding the big toes, you can hold on to the ankles if that's easier. We're going to lean back and lift the feet off the floor. So coming into a little bit of a balanced posture here. A little core strengthening. So navel hugs the back body for support. So don't let the belly puff forward. And then you can stay in this position if you'd like, or you can open the legs out wide and bring the heart forward through the shoulders. So as you're holding that heart forward, we want to feel the elongation of the spine, so still as best of our ability, that head, neck, torso, tailbone in a straight line. Breathing here, core is firm. And then your next option is to bring the legs together. And you can go into a slight back bend here for a moment. As long as you can hold on to your bind, you can let the heart lift, create that slight upper back opening. And then try to bring the legs as close to the body as you can while still maintaining the balance. So you'll bend the elbows out wide and draw the legs as close to the torso as possible. One more breath here. And then we'll move into Navasana boat pose. So let the arms lengthen again. Release the hands and turn the palms up. If that's too intense, you can bend the knees and hold on to the inner knees as the legs are extended. But you can also straighten the legs and hold the back of the knees, which would be like option 2. Option 3 is to have the arms out wide. And then again, you're hugging the navel towards the back body, so you have that firm support there. Continue to keep the spine long, just a few more breaths. Gaze is steady. Good, and then bring the knees in. Hold the arms around the thigh, or around the shins, and bring the forehead to the knees. And then we'll slowly come down onto our back. So you can continue to hold the shin bones as you concave the spine one more time, drawing the navel toward the back body. Hug the knees in. And if you want, you can just do a gentle rocking from side to side. So some dynamic bridge here. Feet are flat. Knees are bent, and if you like, you can lightly touch your heels with your fingertips, arms down by the side. So pressing into the feet, slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Just come as high as you comfortably can, and then exhale, you're going to slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time, just melting the spine into the mat. And we'll repeat that. Inhale, come up. Tailbone absorbs in, slowly moving through the vertebrae to the peak. And then exhale and slowly come down. One more like this, and then we're going to change the breathing. Inhale. Exhale. All right, on your next inhale, you're going to come up into bridge. So all the vertebrae come off the floor to the best of your ability. Now stay lifted and exhale all the breath out here. Hold the breath out, don't breathe in as you slowly come down. And use that suction to pull the navel deeply in and up under the rib cage. And then take a recovery breath here at the end. So as everything rests, full inhale, full exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift up into bridge. Exhale all the breath out here. So empty as completely as you can. Feel that hollowness in the belly, in the gut. And then keep the breath held out. Continue that suction as you slowly bring the spine down one vertebrae at a time. When you get to the bottom, rest and take that full inhale, full exhale. Okay, so this is a very personal practice. 3 more on your own, please. Make sure you take that recovery breath in between so we don't strain the breath in any way. Good, one more. And then just rest. You can TP the knees, so feet a little wider, knees falling in. Hands can just rest on the belly. And now bring the feet back to neutral, rise up onto the balls of the feet, slide the block underneath the sacrum, ideally on its tallest edge, if not the middle or the lower edge, and then take the legs straight up in the air for modified Viparita Karani Mudra. So to make it the mudra part, we'll bring the hands onto the glutes as if we were holding the legs up with our hands, but we're using the block for support. And now just close your eyes. And one of the things I like about this variation, there's many things. One is that there's no pressure on the neck. So people that have some cervical challenges can sometimes do this one comfortably. It's less risky. And I also like that here we have the support of the blocks so we can relax into the posture, making it a little bit more of a restorative experience. But you also get a beautiful extension of the lumbar spine here, from the block pressing into the hips and the body pulling away from gravity. So as you rest and you feel that gentle, natural opening of the spine, enjoy that extension. And as you're inverted, you'll feel that the inhale still comes in and goes down, but we feel that sense of energy moving up a little more greatly because of the inversion. And then the exhale still comes up and goes out, and we feel that grounded sensation. There's a little more efforting there on inhalation, a little more effort to feel the grounded on exhalation. Good. Last 2 breaths here, please. And then to come down, you're going to slowly take one leg down and then the other. Stay high on the ball of the feet and just take that block out from underneath and bring the heels down and slowly release the spine all the way into the earth. And just rest here for a moment. So left leg long and straight to the floor, right foot on top of the knee. Left hand to the outside of the knee. Slowly take the knee to the left. Now this is a deeper twist, so pick your hips up and shift them behind you. And that way you're going to honor the natural curve of the spine. And if you need a block underneath your knee, you can always take that, just so that it's not too deep of a twist. And now navel rotates to the right, right shoulder opens up. And if you can, gaze over that right hand. Eyes open or closed at this point is fine. And this is a deeper twist, so breathe into it. And think of pushing the right hip further away from the low rib. You can even use your hand to do that if you'd like. So we're keeping the twist deep, but creating a little more length in the spine so the rotation feels very natural and effortless. Continue your long breaths here, even though it's tempting to start moving into that mindset of Shavasana, shallow breathing, or effortless breathing. And one more breath here. And then gently come back up and square yourself off on your mat and take a moment there to feel. Other side, so right leg long, left foot on top of the knee, right hand goes to the outside of that knee and take it over to the right. Now again, you're going to want to pick your hips up and shift them behind you so it's not too much of a bend for the lumbar curve. And if you need support underneath the knee, use a block there. And then left arm opens up, navel rotates to the left. And then left shoulder softens down into the mat. Feel the body experiencing this twist. And if you'd like, left hip moving away from the low rib, either through your effort, or you can take the hand and just kind of push the hip away. So we want to get as much length in the spine as possible so the twist feels more organic. Keep letting go, keep releasing. And then when you're ready to come out, just gently release back onto the back. You need to square yourself off on your mat for a moment. And we always want to end with a symmetrical pose. So just bring both knees into the chest. And we'll just do a little apanasana. So hands on top of the knees. Inhale the knees away from you to arm's distance. And then exhale them back to your chest. Inhale the knees away to arm's distance. Lighten the load on the hands. Exhale, knees to chest. So as you move forward and back here, feel that rocking sensation over the sacrum. Just soothing, again, the nerves that help to create a feeling of calm and relaxation in the body. And then when you're ready, we can just extend the legs for Shavasana. But if you're in a cooler room, you're going to want to put socks back on and sweaters and just make sure that your body temperature cools down slowly. Also placing a blanket over the body. You want to feel that sense of comfort and support. And then just let the legs open a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Bring the arms down by your side and have the palms face up. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath you. And feel the whole body starting to settle into the earth. If you're in a lighted room, you can place an eye pillow over the eyes to block out the light. Now finally, you're letting go of that breathing we've been doing through the whole practice. Make the breath effortless. And as the breath becomes effortless, let the mind relax, letting go of any need to control or shape. And as the mind relaxes, feel the whole body relax. You can almost sense that the earth is holding you. In particular, the earth is supporting the spine. So very slowly begin to deepen your breath. And as the breath comes back in, just gently rub the fingers across the thumb. Wiggle the toes. And rotate the wrists and the ankles. And let the knees gently come into the chest. And then curl to your right side into fetal and just rest there for a moment on the side of your spine. Arm is protecting the head, just providing that pillow. And the left hand can go into the earth and just slowly come back up into seated. Head and neck heavy, eyes closed as you come up. And if you'd like to find your blanket, to prop your sit bones up. Just for a few moments of meditation. So just sit for a moment with a tall spine, relaxed body. Just feel the effects of the practice. And then just lower your chin to your chest. Bring your hands back together in front of your heart. And notice the great calm and peace from that experience. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for practice. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you feel more calm and peace and that you can share that with your family and friends. If you like these types of practices, please consider joining our Patreon account. The link is below in the description. We have several tiers, which gives access to a whole library of practices. We thank you for your support. Thank you for letting me continue to do what I love, and I hope that it helps you and your family. Namaste.